So as we had before, we managed to work with our ungrouped information, introductions. So now we can at least work with some other questions that we are given as a revision to cater up for everything that we had. These are question papers. They are not going to be direct as you are used to textbooks. They can just give you the basics for your understanding. But these are question papers. So everything that you're going to have here, you have an exam mindset together with the information that you had before. So you're given the first question that you're going to consider. The mean of three numbers is 7. They gave you, remember, you used to calculate on your own. Now they gave you the mean. Two of the numbers are 4 and -5. Find the third number. Okay, so this is the question. I do understand that if I calculate mean, this is the concept. This is our understanding. Mean, sum of terms over number of terms. Okay, this is our understanding. Sum of terms over number of terms. So we are given the mean. We are told that the mean is 3. We are told we have it. So let's just say, okay, what about the sum? Because we are told that the mean of what? Of 3 numbers is 7. The mean is there. So we do not know the sum. So let's say the sum is represented by x. Let's say it's x. I'm going to say mean. I'm going to present now. What is the mean? The mean is 7. So 7 is equal to what? The sum that I do not know over the number of terms. They are saying the mean of three numbers. The number of terms. How many numbers are there? There are 3. So what does it mean? You can calculate the sum from there because you do not know the sum. Okay, let's calculate our sum. Cross multiply because this is now an equation. There's an equal sign. That's an equation. Solve for x. Cross multiply 1 times x. That's x is equal to 7 times 3 or 3 times 7, which is 21. Okay, so the question is, why are you calculating the sum while the question is not asking us about the sum? Guys, they gave us that. 2 of the numbers we are given 2 numbers and they want you to find the third one. If you know the sum, it is going to be easier now for you. Why? Because you do understand that if I add these numbers, if I add a 4, I add a -5, I add another one, the third number that I do not know, the third number. So let's say the third number is y. Because we used x, you cannot use another x, guys. Let's just use another. Yes, you can use the x. I'm not saying it's wrong. You can use x, whatever that you understand. So this is the third number, the third term. If I add this, what is it? What is it? This is the sum. I must get the sum, which is 21. Remember, x represents the sum. The sum of terms is 21. So this is equal to 21. So I can find my value of y, which is the third term. So y here is our third number. Our third number. So what is the value of y? 4 plus -5. Plus and minus, that's a minus. So 4 minus 5, -1 plus y is equal to 22. So what is the value of y? I have to take the -1 to the other side of the equation. The moment that it crosses the equal sign, it becomes a positive. It changes the sign, minus. So it will be a +1. So y is equal to what? Okay, so I'm already writing the answer there. This is 21, guys. There's another mistake of exam that we also have, that you calculate in mind. You transfer something that you have already calculated in mind. It can happen. Most mathematicians understand that. It can happen. So avoid that in exam. So this is why. The third number. So therefore, the third number is 22. So let's see if this does make sense, that the third number is 22. Does it make sense that if we calculate the mean, we are going to obtain the mean that we are given? Because these are the 3 numbers. 4, 5, -5, sorry. and 22. These are the numbers. Let's calculate the mean and see if we are going to obtain the same, because they're saying the mean of these numbers is 7. So let's calculate and see if our mean is going to be 27. So this is just a proof. Just see what our is going to be. So mean, sum of terms over number of terms, we add 4 plus minus 5 plus 22. Everything over what? Our main terms, 1, 2, 3. There are 3 numbers. So you're going to add 4 plus minus 5. You add a 22. So this was going to give us a minus 4 minus 5. That's minus 1 plus 22, which is simply 21. So this is 21 over 3, and that is going to give us a 7. Truly, our mean is 7 from this number that we calculated, which means that our answer is correct. Which means that our answer is correct. That the third number is supposed to be what? It's supposed to be 22. So you see, this is exam, guys. All right, let's see another typical exam question. Remember, we talked about the issue of a table, the frequency table. They were given a frequency table. The table shows grades obtained by 150 candidates. They already told you that the total of these is 150. The frequency is 150. The total, they already told you, if you add these numbers, you must obtain 150. Remember, from your frequency table. And the question was, find the median. Remember, I talked about this median. It's important that you do understand the median. That I say the median is taken from the median position. The first thing is to determine, make sure that you watch the introduction, guys, where I talked about this. I said the first thing is to determine its position, the position of the median, which is equivalent to half of n plus 1, where n is the total frequency. So it is half of the total of, already we are told how many candidates are there? 150. We are already told the frequency. This is our frequency. So it's 150 that you're given as your total frequency. So meaning to say, with that total frequency, you're going to add a 1. So it's 150 plus 1, which is 151. And we need half of that. So half of 150, this is 151. 151 half of 15 there, that's a 7. Okay, that's a 7. In this case, then into this 10, because there's going to be a remainder of 1. So it will be 11 like this. So into 11, that will be a 5. And we've got a remainder of 1. So it's going to be comma 10 into comma, that's a 10 there. So 2 into 10, that's a 5. So we're talking about 75,5 position. That is where we are going to have our median. So what is the median? This position. So we're going to add 5 plus 25. You add 5 plus 25, which is going to give us what? A 30. You are not yet there. You add again, plus 30. That's a 60. 60 plus 29, which is 89. So as you can see, guys, 89 is more than this number. This number 75,5 is occurring where the 89 is, and the number correspond. I mean, the grade corresponding there is what? It's D. You could have calculated it this side like this: 40 plus 20 plus 21 is 61. You are less than this. You're at 61. Then you add again 61 plus 29. So if you add this 61 plus 29, you're going to obtain 90. 90. The 75,5 is occurring inside of 90. And where is it? At D. So the median is going to be D. So that's where the middle term is. Guys, in actual sense, you're supposed to write like this. How many A's are there? There are 1, 5. A, 5 of them. The B, we are supposed to write the B is 25. Just take a close. How many C's are we having? Then you locate the middle term from there. But instead of doing that, you can use this concept. I talked about that on the introduction. So make sure you do check the introduction about this. Then the B part, calculate the probability now. We are now in the probability. what is the probability that two candidates chosen at random from the 150 candidates that we had, they obtained grade A or B. Okay, so this is from our normal. Okay, let's refer to our sets. If you refer A or B, this is A on its own, B on its own, but combined together. So under probabilities, how do you present a probability that has an or like this? It means the probability of A or B can be presented as information is separate like this. It means the probability of A on its own plus the probability of B on its own, or the sum of these A and B together. Or you just find that probability of A. What is it that is on A? How many people are there at A? A here, the frequency is 5. So you take the number that is there over the total frequency. Remember, probability, what is presented over the total frequency, 150, plus that of B. How many are there at B? They're 25. So it's 25 out of what? 150. So the same denominators allows us to add the numerators, as we can see. We can add 5 plus 25, that is 30 out of 150. So we can even reduce this and have our fraction by 3 here. That's 1 by 3, that's 5. So that was going to give us 1 over 5. So that is our probability, or we could have just added this together, A or B, add these two together. So you add what is of A and what is of B. 5 plus 25 together. You add over 150. Everything over 150. That is what it means. So still you're going to have the same answer of the 1 over 5. So it can be like that. Probability in our statistics. The masses of 6 bags of millimil, as we are given, on the shelf of a shop were as follows: 5 kilograms, 5 kilograms, 10, 10, 10, 20. They are presented in the order of size, as we can see. Then the question is, find the model class. Remember, the model mass, the one that is appearing the most. So you can see there's a 10, a 10, a 10 appearing 3 times. A 5 is appearing 2 times. The 20 is appearing once. Which one is appearing the most? The 10 kilogram. So that is our modal mass. So the modal mass was going to be 10 kilograms. The median, remember the median is the one that is in the middle if these numbers are in the order of size, and already these numbers are in order of size. So which one is in the middle? The 5 kilogram cancels with the 20, the 5 and the 10. What is remaining? We can see that there are 2 numbers that are remaining in the middle, a 10 and a 10. So which number do you find between, guys? There's a 10 here and there's a, is it possible that there can be a 10 and a 10? It's not possible. So the number between 10 and a 10 is that 10, because 10 is only a 10. We cannot say, guys, there's a 10 here and there's a 10. We can say there's a 10 and there's a 11 here. So which number is between? Not to say there's a 10. We cannot have on a number line. There are no 2 10s on a number line. There's only 1 10. So there's no number that is between a 10. So that median is just going to be a 10. Or if you use that concept that I was talking about previously, that when there are 2 numbers like this, you add, still you're going to have the same answer. 10 plus what? A 10. Then you divide by 2. That's a 20 divided by 2, which is what? Which is a 10. But if the numbers are the same, is that number, guys, because there's no median that is between a certain number. Is that number as it is. Then the mean, remember, if you are given information like this, is the sum of these terms. Sum of terms in the data over what? The number of terms in that same data that you're given. Sum, sum to add these numbers. That is the sum. So you're going to add 5 plus 5 plus 10 plus 10. There are 3 10s that we have, plus a 20. You add everything over what? the number of terms. How many are they? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You are given that also, that the masses of 6 bags of meat, you are already given that. You're already given that. There are 6. Okay, that is the number of terms. So this was going to give us the mean. So adding these numbers, you're going to obtain a 60. Then you divide by 6, and that was going to give you a 10. So that is how you can easily calculate your mean. So want to consider another part again with this same information we are given. The marks of 6 of students who wrote a mathematics test are as follows. These are the marks, but these marks, they are not in order. Okay, there's nothing about the median, so there's nothing about, the median. Find the median. This is the one that we need. So we need the order first. So like I said, the median in the order of size that you are given. So first, these numbers in the order of size. So you're given there's 15, 14. They let them be in the order of size. So which one is the smaller one? I'm going to start with the 9. Okay. Followed by what? 11. Okay. Then we also have a 12. Okay. Then we have got a 14, a 15, and a 15. So there are 2 15s there. So there's a 15 and there's another 15. And the question needs you to determine the median in the middle term. 9 and a 15, 11 and a 15. What is remaining? We are remaining with the 12 and 14. Which number do you find on a number line that is between 12 and 14? The number between 12 and on a number line is what? It is 13. So our median was going to be 13. Or you simply add 12 plus 14 over 2. So that was going to be 26 over 2, which is what? 1 here, 3. So that is 13. So you can also find it that way. That's the median. All right. So let's see. Like I said, the order is important when you are working with the median. The other part, it is, let's see. They're saying a 7th number. A number was added out of these because there are 6. So there's a 7th number there. A 7th student got X marks. So there's a 7th student who got X from the same test. And the mean mark of the 7 students was 13. The mean mark of the 7, when this is there, they are 7. The mean is 13. Find X, the mark of the 7th. Find X. Okay. Remember, when you're calculating mean, guys, we are given the mean. So we're simply going, it's an equation that is there, this one. They are telling you, okay, this is B. Remember, how do you calculate mean? Is the sum of terms. Be careful. This is exam, guys. Sum of terms over the number of terms. Over number of terms. So they gave us that the mean of this 7, the 7th student is there. Is already there. And they're telling you that the mean is 13. So it's 13 is equal to sum. You're going to add this. Add sum. And X is there in that sum. X is there. So you're supposed to add this. X is there as part of the sum. So adding these numbers, that is 15. We add a 14. We add a 9, a 12, 11, and also a 15. This was going to give us 76. The total was going to be 76. But there is an X also. So you add all these numbers. 15 plus 14 plus 9 plus 12 plus 11 plus 15. Plus what? Plus X also. Over what? The number of terms. If X is involved, there are how many terms are there? 7. So that is the 7 there. What is it that you have formed? An equation that you are supposed now to solve for X. So in this equation, you're supposed to solve now for X. There's a normal equation. Back to our equations. This is the same as over 1. So cross multiply, guys. It's a fraction. There's a single fraction, a single fraction. So 1 times this, it multiplies everything. 1 times 76, 76. 1 times x, it's x, which is equal to 7 times 3, times 13. So that's 13 times 7, which was going to give us 91. So there we can calculate our x by transposing the 76 to the other side. The moment it jumps the equal sign, the sign has to change. So it'll be a minus 76. So x is equal to 91 minus 76. And that was going to give us 15. So meaning to say the seventh number, the x was 15. So if you add these numbers together with the 15 that we are seeing and divide by 7, we must get a mean of 13. If you add these numbers, you must get the mean of what? The mean of 13. That is what they're trying to say. So the question is, if let's say I am given these numbers, the sum is supposed to be calculated on its own. Maybe you do not want to have this one. You want to work it separately. Another way can be like this. What is the mean of these numbers as without x? Because we are given that the mean, they calculated the mean of 7 numbers. They told us this is another way that we can have it. We are already given mean. Remember, mean, it's sum of terms over number of terms. I'm just going to write it like this, guys. Sum of terms over number of terms, where x is somewhat like x. So you're going to add sum of terms over number of terms. But they told us that the mean is there. The mean of these 7 numbers is 13. So 13 is equal to, you do not know the sum. So you find the sum over the number of terms. You're told of what? 7. So what is the sum of these 7? Over 1, cross multiply. 1 times the sum. Sum is equal to 7 times 13. That's 13 times 7, which was going to give us 91. This is the sum. The sum of what? The sum of 7 numbers. This is the sum of 7 numbers. When x is there, x is involved. X is involved already here. X is inside. So this is what you're going to do. You go back to these numbers. You add the first 6. Sum of 6 numbers. The first 6. The first 6 numbers that you're given. This one, 15 plus this, you add the numbers. You are going to get a sum of these numbers as 76. You add everything. The sum there, it was going to be equal to 76. So how do you find x? By knowing, guys, this is it. You know that 6 numbers, they add up to 76. If they are 7, they were adding up to 91. This is the sum. So what is the x? What is x? The 7th number, the 7th is to who was added. You just subtract. When they were 7, they gave us 91. If they are 6, they gave us a total of 76. The difference there is the 7th student who was added, and that was going to give us the same number, 15. Different ways of answering these questions. Different point of view also that can be given. On another question, they gave us the mean of 9 numbers. If you check this one, if you understand this way, the last presentation that I just did, it is going to be easier for you to answer a question like this, because they are giving you that the mean of 9 numbers is 11,9. The mean of 8 numbers is, find the 9th number. So this is it, guys. Remember how you calculate your mean. It does not change. Mean, sum of terms over what? Over number of terms. So they gave you that the mean is 11 of what? Of 9 numbers. So you just substitute 11,9 is equal to the sum. I do not know the sum, but I know the number of terms that they are 9. So what is the sum? Over 1, cross multiply, just like the previous case. So the sum is equal to the product, 9 times 11, 11,9. So that was going to give you 107,1. So this is the sum of what? 9 numbers. The 9 numbers. Okay, we do the same thing. The mean of 8 numbers. The same thing. Same approach. What is the mean of these 8 numbers? It's just 13. So 13, the sum over what? They're 8. So what is the sum? Cross multiply again. So the sum is 8 times 13. 8 times 13. So this is the sum that we're going to have. All right. So the sum was going to be 104, which is the sum of what? 8 numbers. Sum of 8 numbers. This is the sum of 9 numbers. This is the sum of 8 numbers. So what is the 9th number? By understanding this, guys, what is going to be our 9th number? You know their sum if they are 9. You know their sum if they were 8. So what is the 9th number? The difference, the 9th number, I mean, the sum of 9 numbers minus what? The sum of 8 numbers. You subtract that from when they were 9. The difference there is going to give you the 9th number, the number that was added on these 8 numbers to give us the 9th, to give us the sum of the 9 numbers. That is the 9th number that was added, which was going to give you 3,1. You're back now to your decimals, simplification of your decimals. So questions can be like that. Let's revise as much as we can. From this table on another question, you were given the table shows size of shoe worn by pupils in a class, the shoe size and the corresponding frequency. Find A, the total number of pupils in the class. The total number is the total frequency by adding these frequencies that you're given. That is the total number. So you add 6 plus 14 plus 12 plus 8 plus 2. You add everything. That was going to give you a total of 42, the sum of the frequencies. B, find the model shoe size. Which shoe size is appearing the most? Remember from our introduction, I say this is the most occurring number, the most appearing number. So which one? 14, but it is from where? From 6. The highest frequency is 14, but which number is that? 6. The number with the highest frequency. So that is shoe size 6. The median shoe size. From the median position first, we can determine that. Remember, I said you can find first the position, the median position, which is equivalent to half of n plus 1. N being the total frequency. Remember, you calculated the total number of students. There are 42 plus 1. So this is 43. Half of 43 is what? Into 4, that is 2. Okay, into 3, that is a 1. There's a remainder of 1, so it's going to be 5, which is 21,5. This is the position where we are going to find our median. It is going to be found at this position of 21,5. So we're supposed to add until we get 21,5. 6 plus 14, that is 20. We are still below that. We are at 20 now. 20 plus 12 is what? That is 32. 32, we have already exceeded the 21,5. So it is going to appear here, occur in this region, which is the shoe size 7. Even if you take it from this size, from this side, you do the same thing. 2 plus 8, that is 10. You are still less than this value. You're at 10. So you must add 10 plus 12. 10 plus 12 is what? That's 22. 22, guys. You have reached this value. You have reached 21,5 inside of that 22. But where is it appearing? Inside of 7. So that is our 7 is going to be our median. So questions can be like this. Considering your paper 1, as you can see, this is paper 1. So let's do revise work with the introductions as I talked about in our previous classes. So make sure that you do understand the basics of each. And for any questions, make sure that you do send them in the group. If you check the description of the channel, you will see there the links which will take you to the WhatsApp group. Then you can join there, send your questions there, which we can also present back to this channel till we meet again.